I mean, I was just curious, do we think that the Bijan pick, do we think the money that we spent in free agency is enough to fill up the Benz week one? I think kind of like y'all said, like Toddy alluded to, we have been traumatized, with the Super Bowl, even when you go back throughout the history, throughout the 80s and 90s. Are we still somewhat traumatized with, our QB1 going into week one? Like, how do y'all, what's y'all's prediction for week one's attendance? Do you think we're going to fill it up?
Go ahead, Steve. I see you ready.
Going back to Bijan, I think that's a nice move to help bring folks in here. That was such a shock pick. And even more than Kyle Pitts was a couple of years ago, when you have a flash running back, that probably screams star player more than a tight end would. So having number 7 in the backfield is gonna really be electric. But yeah, I do feel like the fans are gonna be hyped this year because bringing in the influx of players that we did on defense, especially. We've been screaming about this defense since 2018 about not having core players, but you bring in the Ellises, you bring in the Armagnadas, you bring in the Calais Campbells, you bring in folks, and then those young guys trying to sponge up some of that knowledge, the Troy Andersons, the A.K. Ebiketis, and those folks can possibly have a roster that should be able to produce better than average play. Because we haven't had an average roster. We've had less than average roster the last 2 years. So to your point, Mark, I do believe that the fans will show up game one. Now, will they show up game two is the biggest question.
Especially if we lose.
So that I do think they'll show up game one just because of the new toys, I should say, that we have.
Yeah, and I pretty much agree with what Uncle saying. There's a lot of new toys, and actually, Uncle Steve had a real good show recently where he asked, pretty much, is the 2023 Falcons compelling enough for you to go and watch them play? And that coincides to what we're saying right now. For me, absolutely. And I was telling Steve, I'm compelled, even though when I know we're bad, but I'm even more compelled now because I know we do got some new toys. Like I'm very interested to see what Bijan is going to be all about. I want to see him in person. I seen him in training camp. Okay, I want to see him in person on the field when he's going to get hit. Does he really got that Barry Sanders in him? Does he really got that little Damian Tomlinson in him? Because I'm a running back guy. So I like running. That's my favorite position to watch. So I want to see Bijan. Okay, you went and asked Mike Vick to wear 7. So you got some pressure on you now. You playing in front of Atlanta fans. And you like, I'm good enough to remind y'all of Vic a little bit. Okay. Those are big shoes to fill, sir, for Atlanta fans.
Huge.
So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm also, Kyle Pitts is going to be healthy. I'm interested to see, is he going to turn to the unicorn this year? I know he's talented, Bijan, Pitts, and hey, Drake London had a great rookie season. What's Drake gonna do? All these guys on the field. Tyler Algier, Bijan, you're not finna just come here and take all my reps. We're gonna fight for this. I'm interested to see what all those ingredients in that pot, like what kind of meal we're gonna have when you put all those ingredients in a pot. You stir it up. Desmond Ridder? What's Ridder gonna do? All the guys we brought in, Jesse Bates, and Steve, I think we had this discussion recently. When you had Big Low on the phone, don't do that, Steve. They gonna get you when you go live. Why they gonna get him? That's Steve, y'all. He will be on at 5:30.
My Heineke jersey is on the way.
Steven Johnson will be on at 5:30. Direct those comments to him. He will be on in less than 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. Go get him, because I know y'all gonna get him anyway. But yeah, I'm just like I'm excited about the season, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm always excited about the Falcons football because I love the team. I love football in general. Falcons my favorite team of any sports team I root for. But I'm even more excited this year just to see what's gonna happen. And you know, Brandon and Steve, you know, in the group we'd always talk about like you know it was time for some new blood, and we finally got the new blood in here. I'm just intrigued to see what's gonna happen. And we spoke about
Hallelujah, we got some new blood.
it,
Hallelujah.
and it was badly needed. So I'm ready, fellas. I can't wait. Go ahead, Brandon. This
I
on
can
you,
hear
bro.
it. I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in all y'all voice. All y'all excited. I can hear it in your voice. And that's good. That's a good thing. Now, the question was, do we think week 1 attendance will be good? I absolutely do. The reason being, look at the attendance at training camps. It's
Yeah,
been much better than it has in the past.
yeah.
The
Absolutely
fan
right.
base is excited, man. Like I hear it in y'all voice. And y'all diehard fans,
Yeah.
y'all excited. Hey, if Bijan is what they say he is, and to me, he's a Marshall Faulk type talent. That's what I see when I see that kid. Like Steve alluded to this. The defensive roster is much better, as good as I can remember.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Good as I can remember. So they should be able to play competent defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
I think offensively, what you're gonna see is a lot of empty set with the 2 tight ends. They're gonna have that boy split out wide, and they're gonna motion them into the backfield if they want to expose the defense that way. If not, they're gonna keep them out wide or in the slot, and then all they're gonna have to do is work the matchup. And Riddle make the decision. 1 or 2 read, boom, and it's done. And they're gonna ask for a lot of yard after catch, a lot of run after the catch, and you're gonna see Pitts and London and Bijan breaking tackles, running over dudes. It's gonna be a totally different offense, y'all.
Who you say gonna be
I'm
making the
telling you.
decisions?
Huh?
Who you say gonna be making the decisions?
Riddle. Hey, look, I'm confident in Riddle. I know, you know what I'm saying. You got your feelings about Riddle, but if all you got to do is throw a slant pass, I think he can do that.
I'm being tongue in cheek, Brandon. I don't know how more to express this. This is my team. In order for us to be successful, I gotta support this cat. I hope he is. I've seen some things that I like. I've seen other things that makes me scratch the small 1 or 2 little hairs up here. And I want to believe. But you said it, Brandon. You were talking about Kyle Pitts. People are sleeping on Jonnu Smith too. It's going to be in this lineup as well. You have a 3-headed monster back there with, everybody's talking about Bijan and forgot about Algier back there, and CP is in the backfield talking about, hey, remember me a couple of years ago? And,
Right.
we have so many options now to spread out, like Brandon was talking about, and the defense, man. Just the changes I see on this defense they just have me excited. So, yes, I hope Ritter is the guy, but even if he's not 100% the guy, I think we have enough to still win this division.
Yeah, despite that. And Brandon Marshall, I don't know if you can see the screen, but Ray Ellison has a question that he'd like you to answer. It says, what are your expectations for Ritter this season, Brandon Marshall?
I'm saying Ritter getting about 3,000 to 3,500 yards passing, 25 to 30 touchdowns, somewhere between 10 and 15 picks. Now, if he had single-digit picks with 25 touchdowns, he's had a very good year.
Yeah.
What they're going to ask him to do, what they're going to ask him to do in this offense, is going to be a simple offense. You're going to see a lot of zone reads with Bijan, with Tyler, and him reading that guy. Because the defense, y'all, has to respect that zone running with Bijan and Tyler. You have to respect it. Because that right side of that offensive line, them boys some grizzly battles, man.
Oh, yeah.
Some grizzly battles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm for real, man. They some grizzly bad, man. McGarry, man. Listen, if they start popping them little outs, them wide zones, they're gonna get rid of. Boom, he gonna read that in, man. If he bite on that thing, he gone. You see what I'm saying? So this offense is not going to be the traditional pro style drop back, Matt Ryan, read the field. No, they're going to ask that kid. They're going to put him in spots to be successful, and that's on coaching. You see, you got to develop your players, and you can't put them in positions to not be successful. So I think Ritter going to have a good season. I don't think he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks, but he's not going to be like Baker Mayfield. You dig what I mean?
Yeah. And that's all we need from